you know that you could save a life simply by washing your hands properly? That is, hand washing is very important, especially proper hand washing to prevent spreading of infection and all kinds of other diseases. So today we're going to talk about proper hand washing techniques. I'm going to show you how to do it, the do's and don'ts of hand washing, and the importance of hand washing. Why is this so important? So let's start by demonstrating how we should properly wash your hands, because everybody washes their hand. I'm pretty sure you just run your hands under the water, maybe put a little soap, rub it. It's way more to it than that. Not way more, but it's more to it than that to make sure it's done properly to decrease your chance of getting infection and spreading infection. So first we're going to start by, first step is usually this right here. You can pull the paper towels down, but usually if I have one of the paper towels racks with a handle on it, I will pump it down so that the towel's already hanging in position for me. So that way, when I get ready to finish washing my hands, I don't have to touch anything. I don't have to recontaminate my hands. So first, you can start with warm or cold water, whichever you prefer. So right by getting my water, then I'm gonna stand up. Just out the way. So right when I feel like I got my water at the perfect temperature, I am going to apply my soap. Applied about, as you can see, about 3 pumps of the soap. And now I'm going to lather my hands. Now this is the important part. We want to make sure that when we scrub our hands, we scrub between our fingers, under our nails, the back of our hands, our wrist area down to my watch. Usually I take my watch off to do it. And you're going to do this for about 20 seconds. They usually say sing happy birthday 2 times, and that will be about 20 seconds. So once I feel like I have my hands lathered well, I scrub between my fingers and the back of my hand down to my wrist. I'm going to rinse it off. Now, usually I rinse downward. You rinse downward because you want all the germs to go down in the sink. Be sure not to recontaminate your hands by touching the faucet when you do this, or touching the water that might be at the bottom of the bowl. So we're gonna let that drip off. And next thing I'm gonna do, and usually you can feel it. It feels real clean. Next thing I'm gonna do is grab my paper towel. I usually like to let my hands hang down. Notice I haven't turned the water off yet. I don't want to touch it with my clean hands now. So dry my hands off really well and turn off the water with the lather. And that is how you properly wash your hands with soap and water. That's the most effective way. But say you don't have soap and water at the time. The only thing that you have at your disposal, of course, throw this away. Okay, but the only thing that you have at your disposal, say, is hand sanitizer. How can I effectively use hand sanitizer? So I have the Perel brand. I'm gonna add a couple pumps. I want enough that's gonna cover my hand, front and back, and between my fingers. So I'm gonna add a couple pumps. I added about that much, and then I am going to rub. And the thing with this is you want to rub it all the way until it's dry. So rub that in. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'll just show you how to properly wash your hands in cases when, like I said, the best and most effective way for hand washing is soap and water. But hand sanitizer works just as well. It just doesn't work for wet things. So like if you touch your hand and you made a mistake and touch feces, which I hope you don't, but if you make a mistake and touch some feces or something like that, hand sanitizer wouldn't be a good option. You need soap and water and a nice scrub. Okay, so now we went over that. Let's talk about a few do's and don'ts of hand washing. So one of the top ones for me personally is washing your hands before meals. you're putting all kinds of germs in your mouth, you're touching stuff. You just never realize how much your hands have in contact with your mouth. So always wash your hands before meals, before you're prepping the meal, before you're eating the meal. Always wash your hands. Also wash your hands before you brush your teeth. A lot of us don't think about that, but there are germs and stuff that's getting ready to go on our toothbrush that we touch. So we should do that to help lower our risk of infection. Also, if you had a cut, you make sure you wash your hands first. That bacteria could get into the cut and cause all kinds of other problems that we don't want. Also, cover all areas of your hand. So wash the back, wash between your fingers, wash under your fingernails. Make sure you cover your whole hand. Don't leave any spot dry or any spot not rubbed. Don't. You do not want to use hot water. You will scorch your hands. Make sure that you have it at the proper temperature. You don't want to scorch your hands. Also, don't fill the sink up and rinse your hands in the water at the bottom of the sink. You're just picking all those germs right back up. And also, you want to avoid recontaminating. So what that means is avoid touching the faucet after this part. This has germs. If you touch this after, you might as well start all over. For the paper towel racks that have the handle on them, you don't want to touch the handle after. So like I said earlier, make sure that you have your paper towels already pulled down if you have that type of paper towel. And also, you don't want to use scrubbers. The little brush things. Yeah. No scrubbers. Unless you have something that you have to scrub off your hands. Scrubbers carry bacteria. The only time we use that is if you absolutely need it, something you can't get off and you have to scrub it off. So why? Why all this? Why is this so important? And how can you save a life just simply by proper hand washing? Well, hand washing, it reduces the spread of infections. Our hands have so many germs. We touch so many things a day. Germs are everywhere. Germs are right here. And we put our hands to our mouth so many times and we don't realize it. So we want to make sure that we reduce the spread of infection. Also, it reduces our chance of getting an infection because we're keeping our hands washed. Stuff that we touch, we're making sure that we properly washed our hands after. Also, unwashed hands touch food, they touch the drinks, and we want to make sure that we don't get that into our bodies. The flu virus, that's how people get the flu virus. It's not the way they get it, but it's a way that they can pick up the flu virus, other stomach bugs, respiratory infections, all kinds of things like that. We want to make sure that we get these germs off of our hands, pretty much. It also harms children. We know that children have put everything in their mouth, their hands. So we want to make sure that we teach our children that. But it was reported that 1.8 children under the age of 5 died from some type of diarrheal disease and pneumonia. That's the top 2 killers. And the number one way they got these were picking up things. And like I said, children put their hands in their mouth constantly. So we want to teach proper hand washing techniques. Also, it helps battle antibiotic resistance to things like penicillin or amoxicillin. These are type of antibiotics. Washing our hands reduces the amount of antibiotics that's used because people aren't as sick and that they don't become resistant to the antibiotic. So all around the board, hand washing is great. It's very important. They teach it in hospitals all the time. It's the number one way to prevent the spread of infection and to prevent yourself from getting infected. Also, let's teach somebody. Let's spread this to our community. Next time you might see somebody, well, I don't know, they might not take it too well. You teach them how to wash their hands, but there's a lot of opportunities that we do have to teach somebody proper hand washing techniques. It doesn't just help them, it helps us. It helps keep, like I said, the germs away. We never realize how much germs are on everything. So at the end of the day, Practicing and teaching proper hand washing can help your community stay healthy, and it helps you stay healthy as well. So spread the word.